Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel and you're watching The Lawn Care Life. Today I'm working on my neighbor's yard and I want to show you the yard. It's a yard that's probably not had any lawn care treatments done on it, and I'm going to say roughly 50 years, probably not ever, just to be honest with you, very little. So we're going to call it the ugly yard fix. And I told my neighbor, I said, listen, I'm going to refer to your yard as ugly. If you'll give me time, I'm going to fix it for you. We're going to make it look a lot better. So let's get started with this video right now. Okay, so let's show you the yard first, and I want to show you the weeds, but I also want to show you the grass and just show you what I'm looking at. So I'm in around Birmingham, Alabama market, and we are in late February. So that's very important as far as the timing, because I feel like at this time I've still got time to get my pre-emergent application down before the crabgrass germinates, which in our area typically happens, you know, early to mid-March. It can happen in February depending on the weather, but we were really cold last week, so I don't think the crabgrass has germinated yet. But these cool season weeds are just loving the weather we've got right now in a very mature state. So you can see the lawn, and all the green stuff is weeds, and there's, to be honest with you, not a whole lot of desirable turfgrass in here, but I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to spray kind of this area that I'm showing you now, and I've got one other area that I'm going to show you that I think I'm going to spray kind of this area inside this circle driveway over here and see what we can get. I told her, I said, hey, give me till the summer. It's gonna look better, okay? All right, so when I look at this yard, like the weeds, we're not gonna fix all the weeds today, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm putting on the yard and then tell you my plan for the future. But, you know, just weeds galore. I mean, these are just cool season weeds, every one you could ever think of. And the part that I'm looking at is this little bit of Bermuda grass that's still in here. Okay, now in this area, this is just common Bermuda that grows out in just about any cow pasture around here, just to be honest with you. But there is enough of it. I mean, you see here is more Bermuda here, more Bermuda here. So there's patches. It's not great. I don't think this yard was ever sodded, and to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be just super lush and thick being common Bermuda. It's going to be a little thinner. It's going to have a coarse blade, but if it was mowed right, it can look significantly better than it does. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to get rid of these weeds, the most of them, and we're trying to prevent a lot of weeds with the warm season weeds like crabgrass and things like that are going to be germinating real soon. So we got a pre-emergent in there, we got a post-emergence to help get rid of these existing weeds, and then we will, when the weather starts warming up, probably in April or May, we can start with the fertilizer to get the Bermuda to fill back in. Now, some people have the strategy that if you've got a thin Bermuda yard, should you put a pre-emergent on it? Well, in my opinion, if you don't do a pre-emergent now, then what happens is you've got so much weed competition that it makes it virtually impossible for the Bermuda grass to fill in. So if we end up with just tons and tons of crabgrass in here, then it doesn't matter how much fertilizer you put out there, there's nowhere for the Bermuda grass to go because there's too much crabgrass competition. So I would rather, you know, put the pre-emergent out, have a thin yard, and then start fertilizing and let the Bermuda grass fill in. So that's the strategy we're going to use today. All right, so I've got a big spray tank because this is what I do for a living. I know not everybody has this. You can use granular pre-emergent, or you could put it out with a backpack sprayer. But anyway, I'm going to use my big spray tank because that's what I have. So what's in the tank, you might ask? Well, I've got a surfactant in there, and I'm going to put some links in the description so you can check these products out. But a surfactant, what it does is help the herbicide stick to the plant. So if I put a post-emergent on there, I want it to stick to the plant because some of these herbicides are taken up through the leaf, and I want it sticking to the plant so that it takes it up and kills the plant. All right, so the post-emergence I'm using today, I've got atrazine mixed in there. I've got a three-way product called Triplet that's got 2,4-D in it. Now I've got a pre-emergent that is prodiamine that I've talked about. Again, I'll put the links to those in the description. So that's what I'm putting in the tank along with the surfactant. Now, is it going to kill every single weed? No, it's not, but it's going to get rid of just about all the broadleaf weeds. We'll keep this as a continuing video series. I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you can follow along, but it's not going to kill some of these weeds. It's not going to kill this field matter right here. I just know that because I've been spraying the same yards, you know, all the time. I know which weeds it's going to kill, which weeds it's not going to kill. It's not going to kill the creeping Charlie right there. It will kill the clover. It's not going to kill these cool season clumps of grass here, fescue and ryegrass clumps that are in this lawn, but it will get rid of a lot of it. The cool season weeds that don't die now, they'll die out when the warm weather comes and the heat will kill them. Now, one strategy you could use, you know, just to be honest with you, is probably a better solution on this yard, is just go in there with straight glyphosate and a pre-emergent and put those two together, because the glyphosate is kind of a race off for this yard and would get rid of almost everything except for the dormant Bermuda. Now, you only want to do that if you got dormant Bermuda grass. Only do it at 32 ounces per acre, which is a low rate, but enough to kill a lot of these grassy weeds, a lot of the cool season weeds, and then your pre-emergent would help prevent your warm season weeds that haven't germinated yet. So you could put those two products in there and it would do a number on this. All right, what I'm actually gonna do is spray the yard today, and then we're gonna come back in this video and show you the results. Now, with the cooler weather we're dealing with late February, it might take 2 or 3 weeks to really see a lot of these weeds start to die. Again, you're not gonna see every weed die. The ones that aren't gonna die are the ones I told you are not gonna die, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. I don't have to fix this lawn completely in one day. Just a word on that. Sometimes when people say, I fixed the lawn in one application, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I could come out here and mix a whole bunch of things in the tank. I could put the glyphosate, I could put the prodiamine in there, and I could put a slow release fertilizer out here, and I could put it all out at the same time, and it would basically fix this lawn. By the summer, that fertilizer would kick in and it'd start filling back in, you know, but it's not fixed. It's going to be unfixed by next year, and you have to do it all over again. So anyway, point being, there's really not such a thing, in my opinion, as a one-time fix. I mean, you can greatly improve one, but it takes more maintenance to keep a lawn looking good. All right, let's quit talking and spray the yard, and then we'll come back and show you the results. To check back, it's been about 8 days since the initial application on this yard, and just wanted to show you what's happened. In 8 days we've had a lot of rainy weather. The temperatures are getting better, you know, higher temperatures, so it's going to be for the next week up in the 70s a good bit, so I would expect a lot more action. But let's just take a look and see what's happened so far. And what you're going to notice is a lot of discoloration. You can see the yellowish tint on this particular weed here. I'm not exactly sure what that one's called. The hen bit is not as discolored, but it certainly is discoloring it to some degree, and a lot of just wilting and curling of the leaves on this particular plant. Now you'll see there you got some creeping Charlie. That's a tough character there. I'm gonna probably have to do something else to get rid of it. It's just mass discoloration in this yard, and I think in the next couple of weeks with the higher temperatures, you're gonna see a lot of dead weeds. Now, we gotta get the actual turf grass to start filling in to, you know, make this look like a yard. I mean, it's gonna be thin this spring, just because when we've got a yard that's just totally covered with weeds, that's what's gonna happen. Now, I said it's not gonna get rid of every single weed. This like wild garlic and wild onions, you know, that's over here, it's not gonna kill those weeds, but they'll go away when it's hot. I mean, you can use metsulfuron or you know, to get rid of those. Blindside is a product I use that has metsulfuron in it. It works great on the onions and things like that, but it's not going to get rid of Creeping Charlie, but I can spray change up on that and probably get rid of that later. But anyway, it's doing what it's supposed to do. That's the whole point. It's been a week. It's extremely discolored. If you do this when colder weather, it's going to be a lot slower, still effective. The warmer the weather, the quicker it's probably going to work. But we got a long way to go after this to get the Bermuda grass, and it's just some, you know, common Bermuda, but it'll fill in and look decent this summer, I believe. So got to get rid of the weeds and then fertilize in April. Wrap up the video, I'm going to show you what the property looks like about 2 weeks after the initial application. I'm going to show you some untreated weeds, and then we'll show you the weeds that we've sprayed and talk to you about what's going to happen from here. All right, so let's go over here and look at some untreated part first. And just so we can have something to compare to. It's in March at the time of this video, and you can see that's henbit. The weeds are just, you know, they're basically covering the yard. They're very mature, cool season weeds that are easier to identify at this stage in their life cycle because they're quite large. So let's go look over here where the application was made. This part was sprayed as well, but I want to show you this other section over here. All right, so you can see an initial discoloration. Yellow, I guess is what you would just call it. It's just straight up yellow. But I mean, just look at the weeds. Now I want to show you which ones are not dying, and this is not really a surprise to me, but you see that one there is still green. That's field matter, and when I spray with, you know, triplet and atrazine, it doesn't seem to get the field matter, but it killed about a lot of the rest of them. Now these will continue to discolor over time, but what often happens is as the weather begins to warm, the grass ends up needing mowed at some point, and when you mow the grass, these weeds for the most part don't come back. Now you're not going to see a great impact on the wild onions and wild garlic, but just kind of giving you a little view here of what it looks like. Hard to argue that it was quite effective, but what we're hoping for is that some of this Bermuda grass, with some fertilizer, is going to wake up and really start to spread. A little bit too early for that right now. See a lot of the field matter in here. Now that does have some discoloration on it, but I'm probably going to spray that with, I'll either just let it die out this year, change up some product that works good on that. But you can see the Bermuda in here, so there's enough grass here that I believe we're going to have a decent looking yard by the summer. I'd say decent, maybe not perfect, but you know, lots of yellow, lots of dead, and we got something to work with. So moving forward is to fertilize this grass, probably with some quick release fertilizer starting about April, and we'll just kind of keep track of it, hopefully on YouTube, and show you the progress. But I wanted to get this footage so that we can see what we're starting with, so that, you know, come August or September we can look back and see the difference, and hopefully be able to put some of these video clips together and show you the transformation that took place. This would be a yard where sometimes you get a customer or somebody asks me and they say, hey, you know, should I just re-sod my yard? And so this one of the reasons I want to do this video. It can show you that if you got a little bit of Bermuda grass, oftentimes there's no need to re-sod, it'll spread. Now if it was a different kind of grass, it would eventually fill in probably as well, but for our warm season grasses, Bermuda spreads quite quickly. Appreciate you watching the video. I'm Jason Creel. If you're in the lawn business or thinking about starting one, go over to lawncarelife.com. There's resources available for you there. Click on the channel name, Lawn Care Life, and there's over 600 lawn care videos on the channel. Talk to you guys later. Bye.